butchering it. You're butchering it. Real talk. Hey guys, it's Sydney and I am back with another video, but today we're talking about the live action Yu Yu Hakusho. And it's as terrible as I thought it was going to be. But what made me so mad was that the first 2 episodes were so good. And then they got to the Genkai part and they fumbled. They fumbled terribly. Like, I don't know if a lot of people have watched Yu Yu Hakusho that watch my channel. But if you know me, you know I do not play about Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't play about Yu Yu Hakusho or Hunter x Hunter. I don't play. Yeah, I don't play about Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't play about my silly little animes. I don't. So when last year they announced that there was going to be a live action, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but when they announced it was going to be a live action Yu Yu Hakusho, I knew it was going to be terrible. I knew. But what gagged me is when I went on Netflix and I didn't know it dropped. I went on Netflix and I saw that spirit gun. Gagged. I was gagged. I can't, like, the visuals in this show were pretty good. Like, some of the things, like Genkai being young, like young Genkai, that looks terrible. Absolutely horrible. And it looks like they just put that AI, like, oh, make her young on her face, and it just don't look good. It just don't look good. But back to what I was saying, I feel like they tried to fit like the entire series almost. Like, they were like, oh, let's just take the first season and just, how many episodes in the first season? Hold on. Basically, the first season 1 contained 21 episodes. They're trying to fit 21 episodes into 5 barely hour-long episodes. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? So basically, this is when it flew off the rails, when Genkai was introduced, okay? In the original anime, they had to like fight in order to at least train with Genkai, okay? So I was just like, I understand they were pressed for time. They only have 5 episodes, but you could have squeezed in another little episode. Cause like, no shade, you could have squeezed in another 5 minutes. Like, come on. Cause it was just like, oh, they're here, they're fighting, they're training under Genkai. Like, it doesn't show me how important and how important this spirit or technique is, because they didn't even explain it in the show. It's been like a year or so since I watched the show. This makes me want to rewatch that actual show, because that show was good. That show was so compelling. Like, I need it. I need it now. I just feel like it didn't stress the, like, how powerful these people are. And it did, like, I feel like every single time it was just like, oh, Yusuke just gets this power just out of nowhere. Like, no. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense.
Girl, keep on. No.
Like, Yusuke trained for this power, and it didn't even like put like that little time constraint. Like in the original, there's like a time constraint, like he can only use his spirit gun like once a day. So that's why he won't using it like that. So it just didn't like make sense. Like, he could only, and then after he trained with Genkai, he still couldn't use it like a certain amount of times. He couldn't use the unlimited. So like, it just made it seem like he was just too good all of a sudden. Cause like, he started out not knowing anything. 20 days passed, all of a sudden he's beating like this martial arts, spirit energy, yokai master. What? And all of his little henchmen? What? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense. And like, even Hiei and Kurama, they couldn't even defeat them. And Hiei and Kurama are probably more powerful than Yusuke at the time. No shade. No shade. No shade. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. It did not make sense to me. And then on top of that, and like the ending, it was so anticlimactic. But they try to make it seem like it's action. But like, I didn't care. Like, I didn't care about any of the characters. So it didn't, like, I wasn't like, Yusuke, you better beat them up. The only person I was rooting for was Kuwabara. And he's my favorite in the show. And like the original, that's the only reason why I was rooting for him. And I feel like they really transferred his character over pretty well. And I feel like they fleshed him out much more in this version, which I really like. Kuwabara was just this meathead, but like he cares about his people. And I really like how they showed how like his crew like getting like burn wounds and being beat up, and how that affected him and wanted him to do well and do better. And how like Genkai used Kuwabara surpassing Yusuke as a way to like light a fire underneath Yusuke. And like, yeah, I feel like Kuwabara needs to surpass Yusuke. I don't know. Kuwabara should be Spirit Detective 2024. I just feel like the entire thing was lackluster as I thought it was gonna be immediate. But like 5 episodes, like the longest episode was the last episode. It was 53 minutes. Are you serious? Are you serious? Each episode of the anime was like 20 something minutes, and there were 21 of them. And I feel like my issue with the Yu Yu Hakusho anime is that like it'll stay in one place at one time for a really long time. But like that's world building, that's fleshing the characters out. That's what we're missing in this, because it's just like one episode we're here, next episode we're here, next episode we're here, next episode we're here, without any like explanation on why we're here, except for Botan going like or the person in the beginning what? That doesn't even make sense. Like I was just so annoyed. I was just like, it made me care about the non-main characters more than I cared about the main characters. Cause I cared about, what's her name? Yusuke's girlfriend? They're not dating, but like at the same time. What is her name? Oh, Kiko. Kiko? I'm just calling her Yusuke's girlfriend. No shade. It's just that I don't know her. I real life don't remember her name. But like I cared about their relationship a little bit, only because I know from before that they get together. But I feel like they hint at it way better, and it's like done better in this. Cause like this, it definitely gives them more than friends. But in the anime, it gave like best friends. They just been friends forever. And they happen to like, they just might like each other. They just might like each other a little bit. But yeah, I was just annoyed the entire time. It was just like, I know that it's not good to compare a work with the original work. I say this all the time. Like, you can't compare reboots to the original so much. Like, sorry to bring this up, but White Men Can't Jump got a reboot like this year, I think. And it was actually pretty funny, but it's nothing like the original, and it's not as good as the original, okay? However, I enjoyed both of them. Like, they're 2 different things, and they were made for 2 different things that are at this point, they're 2 different stories. So, like, you can't really compare the 2 because they're 2 different things. But with Yu Yu Hakusho, it is the exact same thing, just done worse. Quite literally, just done terribly. And that's why it's just making me so mad, because you're butchering it. Real talk. It felt so rushed and underproduced. Like, all the fight scenes were stale. Like, how do you make a fight scene boring? You had the formula. You had the secret sauce. And you butchered it. That's what made me mad. That's my piece. I just had to talk about that because I watched it yesterday and it made me so mad. It was terrible. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my Instagram and letterboxd, both blondedsydney, and my business page on Instagram, dollbysydney with 2 S's. And I'll see y'all next time. Do not watch the live action Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a waste of your time. Watch the original instead. It's long, but it's worth it. And you can watch the dub if you want to. I watched the dub. I'm not reading all that. Anyways. Well, bye guys.